up. SLT Mobitel Fiber. Deshe Fiber Balavegya.
IWS Aviation.
Antarjalaya. Fiber Samakin Balakan Vinatana. Isra Bagi Neve. Then. අධ්‍යාපනයට බාධා ප්‍රමාද නැති අන්තර්ජාලය ඉස්සර වගේ නෙමෙයි දැන්. දුරවල පැහැදිලි බවේ උපරිමය ඉස්සර වගේ නෙමෙයි දැන්. වේගයට අධිවේගී අධිබලය. ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ප්‍රථම වේගවත්ම සහ පුදුම ප්‍රීමියම් ෆයිබර් අන්තර්ජාලය SLT Mobitel Fiber. දේශීය ෆයිබර් බලවේගය.
Very good evening. Welcome to the State of Business on our television. I'm Sachin Ratnayaka. Let's look at the headlines first. Sri Lanka goes for another amnesty for undeclared assets. The decision would lose over 300 billion rupees, an opposition MP says. News in detail. Parliament yesterday passed a bill to give an amnesty for people who have not paid taxes but will declare such assets with just a nominal 1% fee. The bill is expected to bring to the open any monies hidden, boost investments and eventually increase tax collections from the earnings of the assets and better compliance.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා සුරකුම්පත් සහ විනිමය කොමිෂන් සභා පනත් කෙටුම්පත තුන්වෙනි වර කියවා සංශෝධන සහිතව සම්මත කරන ලද බව දන්වනු කැමැත්තෙමි. මුදල් පනත් කෙටුම්පත දෙවැනි වර කියවි. ලක්ෂණ කිරියල්ල මැත්තම
මේ පරතර තදින්ම විරුද්ධයි.
හරි.
මොකද මේක කළු සල්ලි සුදු කරන පරතක්. මේ කළු සල්ලි සුදු කරන පරතක් අපි තදින්ම විරුද්ධයි. අපිට මේකට කිසිසේත්ම දායකත්වයක් ලබා දෙන්න බෑ.
බෙදීමක් කිල්ලුවත්. බෙදීමක් ඉල්ලනවාද?
ඉතින් කිල්ලනවා.
මුදල් පනත් කෙටුම්පත සඳහා පක්ෂව ඡන්ද 134ක්ද විරුද්ධව ඡන්ද 44ක්ද ලැබී පනත සම්මත වූ බව ප්‍රකාශ කරා. දෙවන වර කියවීම සම්මතයි.
Tamil National Alliance MP Sumanthiran also pointed out that the country must have a proper mechanism to collect taxes. Quoting the Inland Revenue Trade Unions, the parliamentarian also added that the government's decision will lead to a loss of 300 billion rupees.
But the primary problem that we have in this country is that we don't have a proper mechanism to collect our revenue. Now that is considered by everybody. So without fixing that problem, there is no point. This is not a desirable provision that is being made. The tax commission report of 2009 has recommended to the government not to do this, that this is doesn't bring in the desired results. The chairman of that commission is the present governor of the central bank. So I say, urge the minister to abandon this process that is called a tax amnesty. Country will lose, according to trade unions, revenue officers, trade unions who have publicly said, which has not been counted, I'm finishing sir, which has not been counted, that 300 billion loss will be incurred by the country as a result of this act, and no government official has still countered that.
Although the finance bill was passed in parliament with amendments, all the opposition parties Samagga Jana Balawegaya, Lanka Tamil Arusakatchi and National People's Power voted against the bill. Tamil National Alliance MP M.A. Sumanthiran, joining in the debate, said that whenever any government bring this kind of amnesty, they say last time, but repeat the same process since 1960s.
The first observation that I want to make with regard to the finance bill that is being debated is that first time in the history of this country, we have tax amnesty being declared through a legislation titled Finance Act. Previously, those bills said what it was. They were quite open. They said tax amnesty bill or inland revenue. There were amendments made, inland revenue amendments. But here, some important issues as to what the objective of this act, I say, is being covered up by the title to the act, which is Finance Act. The second observation is This amnesty that is being granted is not the first time, not the second time, not the third time. From the 1960s, several times these amnesties have been granted. This matter was discussed at length in the Public Finance Committee of Parliament, and all senior officials, I'm sure many of them are here in the box today, repeatedly said that they concede that you must not do it from time to time.
Stay tuned for more news. We'll be right back after a small commercial break.
අන්තර්ජාලය ෆයිබර් සමගින් බලකැන් වෙන තැන ඉස්සර වගේ නෙවෙයි දැන් අධ්‍යාපනයට බාධා ප්‍රමාද නැති අන්තර්ජාලය ඉස්සර වගේ නෙවෙයි දැන් පින්තූරවල පැහැදිලි බව උපරිමය ඉස්සර වගේ නෙවෙයි දැන් අධිවේගී අතිබල ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ප්‍රථම වේගවත්ම සහ प्रीमियम फाइबर अंतर्जालय SLT मोबिटेल फाइबर देशी फाइबर බලවේගය.
Welcome back to the State of Business. State Minister of Money, Capital Market and State Enterprise Reforms Ajit Niwad Cabral, who encountered the allegations by the TNA parliamentarian, said that the government's effort is to ensure a set of internationally accepted rules and regulations which facilitate the investors.
We have to ensure that the investors who come into this country are able to see our rules, regulations and laws as being on par with the rest of the world. That is most important because that is what the investors are searching for. When they come into any country, they want to see that the laws are of a standard which they are used to in their own countries. They must see that the laws are being implemented by people who have knowledge, who will be able to carry out those functions in such a way that they will be able to give confidence, and that is what is most important. Already, when Honorable Lanka gave those figures today, you see what a big difference there was from the time our new government took office last year. The whole market was able to move forward with confidence and with certainty because they were confident that the government will back those laws as well as regulations to go forward with certainty.
State Minister Ajit Niwad Cabral stressed that the laws, rules and regulations must be capable of stimulating the capital market instead of making it stifle. The State Minister also added that the new law will meet a set of such technical aspects.
This new law that we have today brought forward in Parliament will provide for the technical aspects of the markets as well as the revolutionary new advances that are taking place all over the world to be introduced into our country. The latest developments will be there. We'll also be able to ensure that the interests of all stakeholders will be safeguarded. There may be a few instances where we needed to bring in certain amendments to this Act, and that has been done. That is after consultation with a large number of stakeholders from across the country, and they have been able to give us various suggestions as well as certain new ideas that would ensure that this law would be able to be on par with the rest of the world. We are also providing for the central counterparty structures to be introduced, and that also will be able to build up confidence in our markets. Honourable Speaker, the most important part of a capital market is that the laws, the regulations and the rules that we bring up should be able to stimulate the market, not stifle the market. The laws must be of such nature that when these are being implemented, that all stakeholders will be attracted, but at the same time they should realize that if they are to be flouting any of these rules and regulations, that would be also addressed very quickly and in a way that it is very transparent as well.
Sri Lanka has welcomed 5,040 tourists in August 2021 up from zero a year earlier as the country manages coronavirus pandemic and tries to keep hard-hit tourist businesses alive. Marking as the highest for the year, the August arrivals were shown over 5,000. Tourist arrivals have crawled up from 1,497 in May to 1,614 in June. Same pattern followed satisfactorily and the number 2,429 in July was doubled to 5,040 in August. Canada became the top source country in August with 594, up from 178 in July. Germany became the second in the list with 515 tourists. The United Kingdom, Pakistan and India grabbed the next positions respectively. There were 311 visitors from the US, 248 from France and 247 from Russia. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka is also giving extended for digital nomad visit tourists who can stay for several months working online in their home countries. In the meantime, the Tourist Development Authority has taken steps to resume participation in tourism marketing exhibitions implemented under the Tourism Promotion Program. Accordingly, Tourism Development Authority participated in the OTDYKH Leisure 2021 exhibition held at the Expo Center in Moscow, Russia. The exhibition was held for the 27th time, was attended by 450 people from tourism promotion agencies in 21 countries. Representatives from 41 countries of the Russian Federation as well as 21 countries including China, Cuba, Lahore, Azerbaijan and Egypt presented stalls for the exhibition. The Sri Lankan stall of the exhibition was opened by the Minister of Tourism, Prasanna Ranatunga. 15 travel agencies in Sri Lanka also participated in this event. Stay tuned for stock updates. We'll be right back after a small commercial break.
SLT Mobitel home broadband within online learning සහ online working සඳහා ඇදහිය නොහැකි data දීමන GB 30ක් රුපියල් 195යි GB රුපියල් 490යි කාර්යාලයක් පාසලක් ගෙදරටම ගෙනෙන ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ප්‍රමුඛතම ඉන්ටර්නෙට් සබඳතාවය SLT Mobitel එකම එක සබඳියාව.
Welcome back to the State of Business. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The all-share price index dropped by 328.53 points to close at 8,764.21 and the S&P SL20 dropped by 79.48 points to close at 3,335.98. The turnover was 10.4 billion rupees and over 489 million shares were traded. Coming up next with foreign exchange rates. With that, we wind up today's news. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow with State of Business on usual time. Until then, take care. Good night.
State of Business